gorgeous people aren't messaging me, is what I'm saying. Is that a nicer way of saying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not surprising to anybody. You're not gorgeous. But you expect it because you're a tall Jewish boy and you think that the world is yours just because you're a tall Jewish boy.
Jewish? I found a new trick where, because my hair is so long, that if I just put it up in like a man bun, and I let it go, the curls come out. It didn't happen for me the way I wanted it to.
It doesn't look great.
I know. I think it's too long.
So are we just going to do the podcast in the same room where your aunt is taking phone calls?
Okay. I mean, we need some type of hook, right? All right, tell me the truth. Does my hair look bad, like it's like styled weird, or does it look bad like I look like a bald idiot?
You don't look bald, but you always look the same to me. You always look like Gumby. You always look like Gumby.
Come on. Look like Gumby, and now give the punchline.
Okay, Gumby with like pubes on top.
Okay. That's Esther Povitsky with joke number 1, swing and a miss. Esther, it's good to have you here. While I was watching some of our podcasts.
Yeah, how was episode 2? I'm pretty concerned.
Well, the people already saw it, so leave some comments and let me know what you think, but it's actually really funny.
Is it?
I think it's funnier than the first one. And I think it's the best we could do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Now, I asked this earlier, but is it a concern that we both have severe stomach issues right before we see each other? Like, that's not coincidence. That's like something.
You know, that's the first time you said that's not something and didn't end it with, it's DiGiorno. Esther often has pizza on her mind, but that's not what you're thinking about right now? It doesn't concern me. No. I get stomach aches when I have to leave the house.
Oh, so it's an anxiety-induced stomach issue?
AISI? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't feel the anxiety. I never thought of it as anxiety, but Betty called it out. Like, because whenever we have to go somewhere, once I get my shoes on, I have to take them off. I have to go poop. Like, my stomach knows that I have to leave.
That's a thing. I've learned that too, because I realize I always have stomach issues when I'm shooting, like when I'm working. Mm-hmm. And I've realized it's kind of like the stress around early call time and not being able to have access to a toilet when I need it. So I'm always having digestive issues, like in certain work situations.
And you don't think it has anything to do with Chick-fil-A for dinner and Taco Bell for breakfast?
I don't, but that was last time the case. So that was the show. It was really good to see you. I adore you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I tell you, because there's a lot of joking around on these podcasts. Well, I am joking around. You're just a blob sitting there. But I think that I haven't made it clear. I think you know, but I don't think the audience knows how much I think you're disgusting. No. We do have fun together. There's something odd about me wearing headphones and you not that feels like I'm in on something that you're not, which you'd think I'd be used to by now.
I don't love the headphones personally.
Yeah, I didn't bring them because I know you don't like them.
It's hard for when my face is already so round.
Oh, it's cosmetic.
I can't add. And also sometimes they hurt my neck.
What if you had earbuds?
Earbuds? Is this an issue where you want me to be...
Sorry, I thought I had a sneeze. No. But there is something to, if you don't want to wear them, don't wear them. I get it, and that's totally fine. But there is something to me having headphones and you not that feels like you're not hearing what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no, now I'm feeling left out and upset. Go get me headphones. What are you drinking in your cup?
I don't remember the brand, but it is just a concentrated iced coffee with Planet oat milk.
Okay. How is that oat milk? I actually haven't had it.
It's good. Not to say it's not great. I don't have a sophisticated oat milk palate.
I do.
Yeah. You want to talk on that? I had an audition to be a spokesperson for oat milk.
You did?
And I crushed it. And then I didn't hear back. But things must have been slow. Like a week and a half later, I got a call back for it, and it's over Zoom, and I just couldn't do it.
What do you mean you couldn't do it?
I just couldn't. I couldn't find the pocket. Like it felt like
you had a bad audition?
Auditions, because it wasn't like I was nervous to be in front of these people, at least not consciously. It was, you're on a Zoom call, there's like 4 or 5 people there, and they tell you to do the thing that you already did well. And then I just couldn't do it. Like he said, all right, yeah, I like this. He gave me some direction, and I told him the truth. I said, I know what you're saying. That's actually a really good note. I just, maybe it's not in my wheelhouse.
You said that?
Yeah. I said, I think it might just not be in my wheelhouse.
I've had situations like that before too. Sometimes where you'll be in an audition and they'll give you a note, and I'm just in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing that note. And then I just don't do the note.
But you don't even try the note.
If I don't want to, I don't. But that's like, it's kind of a creative thing. It's like, oh, well, that creative choice is not a choice that I'm down for.
I think a big part of auditioning isn't only about the choices you can make, but how well you could take direction. And they're seeing, could this person listen to me? This might not be the final take.
I think that's true for a director. Like if a director,
that's who does the callback auditions for
okay,
commercials.
I'm talking about not that. I've never had a callback before.
You only get offers if it's like, I guess we could have anybody do it.
I only get passes.
Have you ever done a commercial?
Yeah. It's been a long time, but yeah.
What commercials have you done?
Bing. Remember Bing? I'm really big.
Is that the one that went under because the spokesperson was such a troll?
No, that's the other one I was a spokesperson for.
What?
Cake.
What's Cake?
Cake is unlike any other browser you've ever seen. And when you find things this fast, you'll never see the world the same way again. You're really pretty.
Cake is I should know everything about it, but I don't remember. Cake is amazing. Cake.
Yeah, you hear that soundbite? Esther thinks Cake is amazing. We know.
Cake is
such a hack, fucking easy joke.
It's a browser. It's an app that's like a mobile browser that's like more easy to use.
Easier than Google?
Yeah.
How so?
You have to watch the commercial on YouTube that I made.
You made it, or that you acted in it?
I was in it. We did 2.
I was, once you do this stuff long enough, the nerves are sometimes still there. I'm talking about auditions. Mm-hmm. Why are you making that? Oh, because you just make faces?
No, because you said this stuff. Like
what we're talking about. This
stuff. I'm such a seasoned pro at this stuff.
Are you able to say the word season without salivating?
Now that you mention it.
You are getting prettier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
I don't know. There's something, I think you're really, really pretty.
But.
There's no joke.
And
I am lying? I don't know. What do you want me to say? I'm not joking. I'm lying. Auditioning, the nerves aren't there the same way they were before because it's like you just do a million of these. But sometimes, do you ever audition and still get like, you don't feel nervous, but your body is nervous?
Yes, but also there's no in-person auditioning in the last year, so it's always self-taped. I have not had
You haven't done Zoom
no,
auditions?
No. Is that like a thing?
I get commercial auditions, and I turn a lot of them.
You're such a commercial guy.
I think I'm, yeah.
You're just that goofy, Gumby guy.
Yeah, with pubic hair.
On the head.
So funny. You're so funny, and you're so pretty.
Thank you. I agree.
Do you think you're getting prettier? Because I do think you're getting prettier.
I do. I think if you look at pictures of me 10 years ago, I definitely think I'm more attractive now.
What do you think it is? Because you're not, eating Taco Bell less.
I think I had a lot of baby fat in the face.
Well, you were in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
How old are you?
32. And I think I look good for my age. I think I'm not really wrinkling.
You use a lot of product too, right?
Not much, but it's more the way I'm aging is when I wake up in the morning, I look bruised.
Do you think it's because you sleep on your fat stomach and all you do is have nightmares about the food you can't reach? We'll be right back. I'm not going to do that. You get it now. There's something about TYSO where I like to cut it's not just about the thing I'm cutting to, but I like...
It's an ending to a beat.
It's an edit. Remember when we used to do improv together?
Yes, we've talked about this quite a bit.
I don't think we talked about it on the podcast.
Really?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, we talked about it on the phone the other day when we were, people listening are like, okay, well, what is it or don't talk about it. We talked about when we were in the Comedy Store and Tony was in the back of the room with a slow clap.
I'm so happy you reminded me of that story because, okay, so this was, I believe it was after Tony and I had broken up.
Yes.
And
it's 2012.
We're on like medium terms. Me and him, we're past like the post-breakup hate of each other and we're over each other, but it's weird. We don't interact a lot. And you and I and Fahim Anwar,
Aristotle, Sandy
Danto, and sometimes Melissa Villasenor, right?
Maybe. I know she's done stuff with us, but I don't think she was part of that troupe because I remember I organized it with UCB to get like a coach for us.
Yeah, we had our coach.
Yeah, we had a team, the Team Comedy Store.
Wait, who was our coach? It was... I know who. Joe. All I know is I had a crush on him and he did not like me back.
I'm shocked. You're prettier now and you wake up with bruises.
But... we were doing our improv, which I just want to be very clear. Like the Comedy Store, there's nothing less cool than improv.
Yeah, they're very improv and stand-up, especially back then. Maybe it still is, but that felt like a younger thing.
Yeah,
they were like, Comedy Store or stand-up stupid. Oh, I do stand-up. Yeah, improv. Like they always made fun of each other.
Yeah, and it was very opposite worlds. And we were like these stand-ups that we were kind of dorky and we wanted to do improv. And it was just funny that we were doing it at the Comedy Store, a place where it's really not cool to do it all. And one day we were in our practice and we finished our scene.
It's the main room at the Comedy Store that seats, what does that seat? 500? 350?
Yeah.
It's big.
It's huge. It's during the day, so it's shut down.
And it's deep and it's dark.
Only the stage is lit and the whole crowd is dark. Continue.
You could tell it.
No, it's okay.
You get nervous about it?
I'm tired.
Oh. You in the middle of an hour set. You guys get it. I'm half regular. Just give me a second. We did a scene and we're funny enough people, but not everybody's skill set led itself to improv as well as others.
Who are you talking about?
You. And it's just, it's hit and miss. We're rehearsing. We're practicing. We're having fun. We did a scene that it was probably me and Fahim and Ari and Sandy. All of us but you.
I think it was all of us.
No, I don't remember who it was. I
think it was a game where we were all playing it.
Whatever it was. Yeah, I was just joking. You're so great. And it was a scene where we all knew. I mean, I'm projecting this, but I can confidently say we all knew, like, we just knocked it out of the park on this one. Great edit. We were all, I guess, all in on it together. But it was just, it really worked. And then from the back of the room, that person must have been there for at least 20 minutes because we would have heard it in or out. Not only do we hear that where it's embarrassing, like, is anybody watching? Through the shadows, we see this. And Tony Hinchcliffe, you just look at any thumbnail of his, it's just, he looks like, he's just menacing by nature, let alone when he's coming through the shadows. who nobody judges us more.
Yeah, there's no one meaner about us being lame.
And him applauding to acknowledge that was the best you could do, but it's still, I'm still judging you. It's just, it was really, really funny. We'll cut to a clip.
We won't, but...
Right. What do you think about us reminiscing?
I don't know. Wait, you were, speaking of reminiscing, you witnessed that crazy day at the Comedy Store. It's like the only incident in my 10 years at the Comedy Store that makes me so angry is when Tony was, and you were there, you witnessed it all. Tony was hosting the open mic and I was on stage. We get 3 minutes and he had the piano player play me off after 2 minutes, which is like I've never seen that done. It was like so cruel. And I walked out screaming at him and you were in the hallway and you like watched me scream at him. And it was such a weird, you don't remember this?
That was the moment I decided I need a podcast with you once every 3 months. I don't remember. No, I believe you,
don't?
but I don't remember.
You've brought it up a lot, I feel like, after that.
I mean, looking back at how mean people are, that playing you off after 2 minutes on the piano, at least I'd be able to sing on stage. That doesn't seem like that much of a burn.
It was like the thing that put me over the edge where I just like...
Was it that he was your ex too?
Yeah. It was so mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember people being mean to you a lot, other than not being allowed in the attic and that Tony thing? It seems like you handle people being mean well.
What do you mean?
No, you mean. I'm saying your feelings get hurt often.
Do they get no, I think no, it happened, but it's like the rare instance when it all hits at once and I'm like, I freak out.
How many ex-boyfriends do you have? What's a boyfriend? Dating for more than 6 months and called exclusive?
Yeah, a year is usually. I don't think I've had anything shorter than a year.
Right.
I don't know, 5.
Do you have any relationship with any of them anymore?
Yeah. There's only one that blocked my number and blocked my Facebook, and I drive by his house whenever I'm in town. But
I think I knew this.
Yeah.
You told me this before. You still do?
Yeah, I made my mom drive me past his house like 2 weeks ago.
Do you miss him? What is it that what's that feeling?
Why are you interviewing me? Are you?
Well, you literally bring, I mean this, nothing to the table. And I've actually found something I'm interested in and I could ask questions. And you do, and that's kind of your thing, and that's good for you. You found, like, I found a way to make awkward work. You found a way to make nothing work if other people do stuff.
That's so correct.
Esther, we are going to maybe do this podcast sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Is that the new name of it? Maybe podcast sometimes.
We might podcast sometimes. And because you're starting another podcast. And
potentially, yes, most likely.
Yeah, so which would mean you have Esther's Club.
It's called Esther Club.
Well, maybe there's the problem. If there were more Esthers, there's more, whatever, you get it. Esther Club, boring, nobody likes it unless you have a guest. Then you have Glowing Up. I don't know, I guess people like it. You have a guest.
Glowing Up is either with me and my co-host, or sometimes we have a guest. We talk about beauty.
Co-host, I mean another person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're best with other people.
For sure. Do you have a solo podcast that you kill it at?
I do, not as a solo podcast, although I'm thinking about doing it. I'm setting up my office like a YouTube studio to do solo stuff, maybe for Patreon. Like I like them.
Reviews of things? Like what would you do?
Well, different things, like, but putting them together, like I've never fixed a refrigerator before, but I tried to do it and I filmed it and I cut it down, and it's like a DIY, mm-hmm. but fixing a refrigerator, but it's me talking to people and stuff. So just doing stuff, mounting a television, fixing a refrigerator, talking about things that are on my mind. I don't know. I just don't want to put it out as a podcast, because to have to do that every week feels like I might be putting out stuff that I don't care to talk about. Do you ever feel that way?
I would say that last week I was really hitting a roadblock where everything I said I just thought I hated, and that's what's weird is I don't normally have that issue, but it was weird to be like, oh my God, how does anyone do a podcast? I hate myself. I hate everything I'm saying. Like it was a really, really a struggle, but typically I'm just like, it's just like a weekly diary, you know?
Yeah.
And some people, that's for some people, it's a small amount for now, but.
Esther, I want to make sure the cameras are going. I can't see. Why were you just so surprised that I'm interviewing you? Does it feel like that's not our relationship, or is interviewing weird?
No, I don't mind it. I like it, but I just know that like we did an episode recently where you were so mad at me that I didn't provide anything. So I'm like, oh, are you asking me questions? Is like
yes,
a way of telling me like
a way of having you say something.
Okay.
Because watch this. Let's start an episode right now, and you take the lead.
Okay, I actually have something to say.
Okay.
Hello.
Do something like welcome back.
Welcome to Rick and Esther Have a Time, the Sometimes Maybe Sometimes podcast. Rick, today I was thinking.
Try and just really, here, just, would you, yeah. This is where I'm sitting, right? Ugh.
Yeah, you can sit there. Welcome. Busy day today. Busy. I actually did have something that I wanted. Sorry, excuse me. I had something I wanted to talk about with you.
Right, so you just did the same thing that you did before. I bet you there's going to be comments about your butt that people are going to be like, damn.
You know what's interesting that I've learned about me and podcasts is that no matter what a fat slob I am, there's still somebody out there.
I talked about this with Brent Moore, and when we were on Undateable especially, because that's when we hadn't done anything, and now we've done something. So we just got verified. We're starting to get messages from people. They're so pretty. The people that message us.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah.
I'm not
mean
saying
of them?
that. No, mean of you to say.
Oh, well, I'll bleep it out.
Oh, well, I'm not calling those. I'm saying it's just crazy that there's people that find this.
But do you think those people are good-looking people? By the way, when I said that before, voice dub over when I say pretty.
I only judge my own looks.
Well, that's what I don't know what these people actually look like. I just see a thumbnail. Mm-hmm. It's not a great thumbnail. Gorgeous people aren't messaging me, is what I'm saying. Is that a nicer way of saying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not surprising to anybody. You're not gorgeous. But you expect it because you're a tall Jewish boy and you think that the world is yours just because you're a tall Jewish boy.
Jewish is a weird one to like. People who identify themselves as Jewish and good looking usually, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but people I don't feel like normally be like, oh, he's so hot, he's Jewish.
No. Exactly. And that's exactly the point is Jewish people are not typically known as being attractive, but that's why.
That's mean.
They're known for getting so much love and encouragement at home.
Right.
So when you're a tall Jewish male, you know you're kind of rare and you guys just think that. And honestly, you know who else is like this? My dad. My dad was like this. He was very picky and, he thought he could do better than everybody he was with.
Do better, get a better person? Mm-hmm. Maybe he was with people that weren't great. Did he end up with somebody great?
Yeah, but he broke up with her.
Your mom?
Yeah. And then they got back together because he realized he couldn't do better.
How old was when he realized that?
In his 40s.
Do you feel that's kind of like how it is with you? Where it's like we keep like kind of not committing to each other because I feel like I could do better, but really you're the best I could get as a co-host?
Now that you mention it, that makes so much sense.
Maybe I've been leaning too much into the fact that my parents loved me and I'm above 6 foot and I'm Jewish.
Yeah, you're too overconfident.
How would you say that? Because I feel I'm confident. I don't feel like I'm overconfident.
I think any confidence is kind of overconfidence.
Of course you do, and that's the issue. But that's what you work with. That's your charm. You really do look pretty right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't you think so?
I can't see myself.
Do you ever think you look pretty?
Yeah.
Is that overconfidence or is that confidence?
Overconfidence.
Okay.
I really do have something to say.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay. You recently told me that you wanted to move into a place that had more natural light.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't understand. And you're like, yeah, I know because you don't understand. You don't need light because you're a troll or whatever you said.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
Mean. I said, it's nice in the morning to get the light. Serotonin makes you feel a little bit better. I think you deserve to have whatever you want.
Did you move somewhere that has that?
It has almost everything I want. It does not have the natural light that I want. And I almost didn't get it, and Betty sold me on it, and I'm glad she did.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's such a nice place. And it's big, and it's high ceilings. I mean, big. I mean, I guess it's big. It's not big, but it's compared to my one-bedroom apartment, it's bigger.
What made you almost not get it?
The light. Not enough natural light. That was the only reason I almost didn't get it. In fact, I wasn't going to get it, and for weeks, Betty's like, I'm telling you, and I couldn't find anything.
Well, what I wanted to say is I've been thinking about that since you said that to me almost a year ago, probably more. And I realized natural light, I do like it. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I need is
darkness.
Is plenty of artificial light. If I'm in a room and it's just a very dim or not enough lighting, I get like weird. Like I get scared. I really
Oh, you're not talking about looks. You're talking about the energy.
bright lights. What do you mean?
Are you talking about you don't like the way you look in certain light, or are you saying you don't like the way you feel in certain light?
I don't like how it feels to be in a room that's dim and like there's not enough lighting.
But what about if there's a lot of natural light coming through the windows, but no lights are on? Like
I don't,
being outside.
Right? If it's bright out, I like it. But like in this room, if these showbiz lights weren't on, I would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I like, and I have a recurring nightmare that I'm in my childhood bedroom and I turn the light on and it doesn't go on.
How do you feel at a comedy club that's dim?
Well, when it's night and you're in kind of like night mode, it's a little different. But when I'm home, I really want to I want to know that I can just flip on lights and have lights on.
So I just want to, and maybe I'm biased. So this is how I'm seeing it, but maybe you could frame it differently. Tell me if I'm close and what you could add to this observation I just made. We are over a half hour into this podcast where there has been multiple opportunities to ask you to say something. And you had one thing that you wanted to talk about. This was your closer or your opener. And it was that you like it to have more lights. Mm-hmm. You're so great for me.
Hey,
Hi.
You
That's my impression of a guy who doesn't understand the different cadences of words.
Hey, you complained that I had nothing to say. I said something.
Yeah. And you know what? A real light bulb moment for me too.
Was?
That was a cadence joke. And it was a pun on the lights and the realization of you bringing something to the table.
Mm-hmm. It would be fun to do this show live in front of a studio audience.
I'll tell you what. I'm thinking about doing a live TYSO.
How?
There's a setup with somebody that they want to do it with me, and they're going to produce it with me. I guess it's still TYSO, but they're going to produce the live section of it.
Wait, is it like a live stream or like a live...
A live stream, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like a live stream, but like doing it like this, multi-cameras, and having people be vetted and call in and talk.
Why don't we do that?
I was thinking maybe we could do that together.
Yeah. And what if I say nothing? I have no ideas.
Yeah, that's the risk that I've taken with you every time I've done one. No. It's good. Everything's good. People like our dynamic. Some people hate it.
Oh, really? Yeah, some people, your fans, you have a few fans that really don't like me, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Esther, my fans, and that's cool. I've heard people say that term, but I feel like I have fans.
You do.
That's really cool. Like that, I'm being serious right now. Like because of the podcast, they're not mine, like there's no monogamy with it. But like I have an audience.
They're fans of yours, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
They
love you.
Really?
Love you.
Me?
Yeah, and I don't mean when I say I don't get it, I don't mean I don't completely get it, but I truly don't. If the reaction that people gave to our podcasts mirrored the reaction I have from them, I would be like, yeah, we're not going to keep doing this. But for some reason, they love it, and it makes me feel like. I've said this before, but the best analogy I could give is because I do trust myself, but sometimes you just, if everybody else is saying something. I was watching a movie on Netflix, and I was about
What's that?
I don't remember what it was. This was a long time ago.
No, what's Netflix?
See what I mean?
What?
Oof. What am I supposed to do with that? Am I supposed to explain to you what Netflix is and lose the momentum of the story? Netflix is a streaming service that started out where they were delivering stuff in the mail. It was the competition to Blockbuster. And it's turned into one of the most successful businesses in the world.
Really?
Yeah, where you could watch stuff. Imagine if people could watch your special, but conveniently. And finishing it because they wanted to.
So it's like a Blockbuster store.
It's like Blockbuster Online.
Oh. What is online?
Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Online is basically like the opposite of what people are doing when they're waiting for your shows.
Is it the opposite of off squiggly?
Do you think the opposite of line is squiggly? Because squiggly could be a line.
What is...
You're thinking the opposite of straight line would be squiggly line.
What is the opposite of line?
Circle.
I don't think so.
What do you guys think? Leave in the comments. If you think the opposite of line is circle, comment Esther has...
No, do not comment that.
Hold on. If you think that the opposite of line is something else, comment Esther has a...
Don't say those things.
I'm just saying.
You're
it's
encouraging bad things.
All right, how about this?
You better bleep those out.
All right. If you guys comment whatever you think was in the bleep, it's going to be so much worse.
No, it won't.
Are you just filling that up with water and that's what you call water?
No, it's sparkling water.
Why is it called Liquid Death?
That's just kind of the branding. It makes it look like it's like a scary energy alcohol drink, but it's really just water.
Poetic. Well, while we're plugging things that aren't real ads, I want to give a shout out to Daily Harvest. Do you know about them? And this is not an ad, sincerely.
It's really not an ad?
I would do ads with them, but...
Why are we doing a free ad for them?
I just... I think it's really great, and it's a new thing I found. I told you about the territory food that I do, and I might start doing it again. But it's the same thing. Daily Harvest is... I know.
Daily Harvest is a Glowing Up sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you used them?
Yeah.
They're flatbread. But here's the thing that I love about it. Gluten-free. I'm gluten-free. And all their flatbreads are gluten-free, and they're amazing.
I know. One time I made one, and Dave ate the whole thing, and it was almost as bad as when he accidentally threw away my icing.
Your icing? Where you have you guys have cake and then you have extra icing?
No, there was the biggest fight we've ever gotten into. I'm sure I've told you this. It's very up your alley. Was I made cinnamon rolls, and I rarely make them because they're like my favorite thing ever. And I had saved a few extra.
He's gluten-free.
No, I saved some of my extra cinnamon rolls for the next day, and the icing, was in a little packet. And the next morning.
Oh, when you say you made cinnamon rolls, you just mean you heated cinnamon rolls
in a oven bake.
You don't make them from
scratch?
Right.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying.
That's disgusting.
So you have extra icing in a pouch.
And it was missing.
Never enough icing.
It was missing the next day.
He ate just the icing?
No, he threw it away. He thought it was garbage. And I made him dig through the garbage and get it out, and then I ate it. It was like, I was really poorly behaved.
Do you know what's wild? There's nothing surprising to hear that you're eating cinnamon rolls out of the garbage.
I said this was an up your alley story.
We have at the moment it's we posted the link rickglassman.com. I'll probably make a site for us if we end up doing this. But there's a link that says the Rick and Esther podcast where we had people send in comments and or questions. Mm-hmm. And I haven't looked at any of them yet, but Betty got a few together.
Oh.
And I thought it might be better to see them here for the first time.
Okay. What are you going to have for dinner?
That's a really good question. I don't know. That's another reason why I was loving Daily Harvest, because it takes me so long. And
why we got to do an ad? We just have to ask them if this can be an ad.
Yeah, we'll reach out. And I'll tell you something. For at least the first one, I will do it. Be paid in the flatbreads. They're so good.
I know. This is the best time of day because it's like, dinner is soon.
Dinner has been tough for me since I stopped eating gluten, and I barely eat meat now. There's so many things I want. I want Howlin' Ray's or Dave's Hot Chicken.
But you don't eat meat?
I don't not eat meat, but I
Boys love fried chicken.
Oh boy, do they. It's so good. You have to like fried chicken, right? You look like you like fried chicken.
I know.
All right. So, she's so cute, Betty. She puts it in this PDF with there's a little header at the top, and it says who this is from. Now, I'm going to read this out loud.
You do not deserve that.
I don't know.
I wish Betty would date me.
You'd have to, as you would call it, have some overconfidence. Girls like guys with confidence. Girls like guys with confidence.
What do guys like?
Guys, there isn't every guys like different things.
Mm. And girls only like one thing?
Girls always like at least that thing.
And what is one at least thing that guys always like?
A pretty face.
What about let's do a personality trait.
I can't tell you it's different. I mean, mine are going to be different. I mean, I'm sure they're all there, but the priority, I mean, for me, in no particular order, but these are at the top. Interesting. I mean, I don't want to say kind because obviously, like, you don't want to be with mean people, right? But like attractive, interesting. You don't have to be funny. It's nice if you're funny, but you have to have an appreciation for it.
So you want a fan? An appreciation? Someone who is
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't mean of my comedy. I mean, like, I want to be able to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm with this person.
Why are we so obsessed with watching a show with our loved one?
I'll tell you how you could connect with this. Maybe. Do you find that when you're eating, there's something social about it, even if it's just with one friend? Do you connect over eating or over coffee or tea?
I would prefer to eat alone, but I know what you're saying.
There's something, it's sharing something. You're sharing something.
Yeah.
When I'm watching a show that I like, fill in the blank. I just love television and movies. It could be listening to a band that you like or watching a sporting event that you like. It's just an art, sharing in the appreciation of art. Ours, I believe, is comedy. Mm-hmm. So sharing, you want to be able to share your life with somebody. And my life is so heavily involved in comedy that if my partner doesn't have an appreciation for this thing if I were Elon Musk and my wife didn't think that space was at least interesting, then it'd be like, maybe that's not the guy for you.
Right.
And that's why I said also interesting. Me wanting my partner to be interesting, meaning, another word is me being interested in them.
Yeah.
Is the same thing of I want them to appreciate comedy, them being interested in me and my interests. So I guess those are almost synonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? That makes sense.
Shared interests?
Shared appreciation at least. Mm-hmm. My mom and dad are best friends and have so much enough in common. Like in appreciation. My mom reads a book every day or two. I don't know if my dad's ever read a book. My dad does his thing, my mom does her thing.
Yeah, that's good.
But they come together so well.
My parents have no common interests.
Maybe your dad could do better.
And it's actually kind of hard because they always want the opposite. You know, like the easiest example is I was having a hard time last year with my anxiety and I wanted to go on, I was considering going on medication and my dad was like, definitely not. And my mom was like, you definitely have to. Like, that's just an example of how they're so opposite. And I think that is why I'm so confused.
Because you've been conditioned from I feel like that gives you more diversity. Mm-hmm. To not think this is the way I'm supposed to be.
I'm hungry.
I know. How much longer do we have to do this? I don't mean this as an insult, because normally it's like, wow, it's already been 40 plus minutes. It feels like it's been 2 hours, but I have enjoyed this 2 hours. So let's get to it.
Okay.
This is from Matthew Camarillo. Do you want to make a joke about Matthew Camarillo?
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Some comics like Matthew Camarillo. Where'd you get that name? The Chipmunks? Or, it's like, relax. It's just the guy's name.
The outlet malls?
Just wanted to say I thought the first podcast was great. I think you guys should have done a dance contest.
Oh.
Esther always dances, and we saw what you can do in your Magic Mike audition, LOL. Also, can we get Esther doing the Marshall Carpet One commercial, maybe singing it? Just some ideas. Hope you guys do a lot more. P.S. Where can I get that Marshall Carpet One commercial music? Daily Harvest. Is it true that... And would I be able to use it? LOL. A lot of LOLs. I have opinions on the word LOL.
Oh, what? Sounds like they're negative.
Let me finish this. I had kind of a cool idea I thought you might think was cool. Matthew Camarillo, thank you so much. Matthew, send us an email and we'll see what we can do about the music, but I don't know if I could give it to you. The thing about LOL is I don't say it unless I actually laughed out loud.
Okay, well then you're using it different than most people.
That's That's one. Two is I think people use LOL. And Matthew, this is not to you. I can't pretend that you're not part of it. It made me think of it. But this is an observation that has nothing to do with you. Jon DeWalt does it. So he's my best friend. So just so you know, Matthew, we could, I think people say LOL when they're feeling insecure about how it's being received.
Yes.
Esther, don't be late again, LOL. It's to say it's almost like showing your hands, putting your hands up, and to show that you're not a threat. And I feel it's overdone. It's overcompensated.
I think you're right, and I kind of think there's nothing wrong with that, though.
I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. I'm saying I judge it. And what you think of as overconfidence, I look at too many LOLs as an insecurity. Mm-hmm. So, Matthew, watch this. Dance. Do you think we will get flagged for that? Well, you are a good dancer. Move your cup. Let's do a little dancing for Matthew. Move your liquid death.
Why? Are you gonna run over here?
No, but stand up and dance, bitch. Matthew, email me and let me know what you want to do with that music, because I got to find out if I'm allowed to give it to you. But I am curious what you want to make with it, LOL.
Do you ever sit for so long and then when you stand up, it's like you're frozen?
Sometimes on the toilet, my feet get tingly. I sit on the toilet too long. Dance to this. I sit on and then somebody out on the internet turn my voice into something where, you know how people take sayings and they turn it into a song, auto-tune it. I sit on the toilet sometimes too long because I don't like wiping. It's almost kind of like I stay awake too long because I don't want to go brush my teeth. But I know I have to brush my teeth, and I know I have to wipe.
Why don't you like wiping?
And just in case somebody doesn't do the music, I'll try and make it more musical. I don't like wiping because there's a lot to do.
Why?
I don't want to put in a song. I don't like wiping because it's just like it's the same thing as brushing teeth. It's just and flossing. It feels like it's a chore. And sometimes you wipe, and then it's just like the next wipe has the same amount on it, and then I go like, you know what? I'll just sit here for a little bit. This isn't going anywhere. It's almost like when you're moving and you take out a whole bunch of boxes and then you go back in your place and you're like, have I done anything? So why don't I like wiping? Here, let me ask you a question. Why don't I like moving? Thank you. Turn that into a song. Also, I have to say something.
What?
To Matthew about the LOL.
Oh.
I feel like I could have said that differently.
Okay.
I could have been like this. Matthew, if you want to use the LOLs, and that because I don't know you and I don't know how you speak, so maybe that is just the way it is. But I want you to at least consider not feeling the need to use them.
I think there's nothing wrong with using them. It's a comedy podcast, and it's being silly.
Bingo McBongo.
Okay, that's
now that's
cool.
being silly. How do both of you happen to have imaginary significant others?
What?
Do you want to answer that?
I don't have an imaginary.
Yeah, me neither. So, you idiot. Aaron Rios.
But people don't see our significant others a lot. I understand.
You were on. Oh, I haven't posted it yet. Right. Episode 2, Betty's on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, because you were also. You don't smell good, do you? Or you thought that? I think you thought that Betty wasn't real or something because I talked about this girl from London.
Oh, but then I started talking to her.
Right.
But yeah, it seemed like a fake name for a
Betty?
while. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's your name? Betty.
Betty from London.
Yeah, you wouldn't know her. Where yours doesn't feel fake. Yours is like, Dave, he sleeps with a machine. He threw away my icing. It's like, yeah, that sounds real. Good stuff. Saved it. All right. From Jim Beam. Are people giving joke names because they're embarrassed or they want to laugh? Cut to Jim Beam at home. That's my name. And Matthew Camarillo just like, he's one of my favorite comedians. What is he? Esther is an originator of hashtag Jew mods, and I believe she entitled to 15% royalties. What does that mean? You've done Jew mods before?
What's Jew mods?
Jew mods is an Instagram account I have at Jew mods, but also I don't use it much. It's a lot of work having social media accounts.
What is it?
It's all the modifications I do when I order stuff, because I can never order something just as is.
Same, girl.
So you do that? You post those?
I don't like call it that because I think that's a little offensive. It's not Jewish that I do that. It's just me.
You know, people, I don't think of you as a Jewish person. I don't think of you as not a Jewish person. You're just in every essence, you're just there. But people were commenting that this is the very Jewy podcast. I think I may bring out some Jewishness in you. Or are you?
I'm Jewy. I'm super Jewy. Totally.
So you don't think it's Jewish? I remember my brother told me a joke once so long ago that it stuck with me so much because it was in part kind of the origins of this type of joke structure. It was that like defining to me. I couldn't believe the joke he told me. I don't mean to set this up that this is the greatest joke in the world. It's just the first time I heard something like this. It blew my mind and it made so much sense. I'm paraphrasing and he made it up, I think. But it was a Gentile drives through McDonald's and says, "Could I get a number one?" And I realized, oh, there's a way of making a joke where the punchline is assumed.
Yes. I've actually heard a similar Jewish joke.
Which is, it's about how, wow, non-Jews could just say however you want to make it. I won't be difficult. Yeah. So I do think it's I don't think it belongs to Jews, but I do think it's a very Jewish thing to be like, could we actually no butter on the bun? And I order the barbecue burger, but I want barbecue sauce on the side and say, why don't you just order on the side? But they charge you 50 cents to put it on the side if we just build it this way. And is it cheap or is it efficient? I would argue the latter.
There's a joke that's kind of the reverse of that where my dad told me where it's like a waiter comes up to a Jewish table and he says, "Is anything all right?"
That's funny.
Yeah.
Your dad could do better than your mom. Hey, Matthew, email me and tell me your size. I'm going to send you some merch. I feel bad, but consider not as much. Jen Yarmus. Now I just feel like every name's made up. Love the podcast, Rick. I hope you had a lovely Hanukkah. CHAG. Hanukkah Chag sandwich?
Chag?
What could that mean? Chag. Let me know what that means.
Did you go to Hebrew school?
Yeah.
Oh, then you would know, and I don't. Yeah.
You're my perfect man, and I'd leave my life for you. My question is, what is your favorite high snack? Thanks so much. I don't know, donuts? Jon DeWalt's calling. Hey, John.
Rick.
How are you?
Dude, you sound like you're busy.
Well, I'm on a podcast.
With who?
With whom? My Asian friend, Mrs. Whom? Just joking. Esther.
Oh, tell that dude I said what's up.
So, John,
What?
Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, Head of the Class might be coming out, I guess, in 2021, and we got a movie with an actor attached to it, but it hasn't sold yet, so keep your eyes peeled.
Are we allowed to say who's attached, or is it too soon?
I actually don't know, so probably not.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Much love. That's Jon DeWalt, at Jon DeWalt on Instagram. What's up?
Just tell Esther I said what's up, and I'm a big fan of his.
All right, bye. John and Allison are working on a few different projects, and one of them, they just got, I guess we're not allowed to say it, but like a really big person attached to it. And it's 2 stars, so they have to get somebody else.
Can you tell me?
I'll tell you after, yeah.
No,
but
tell me right now. Really?
No. I can't tell you now.
Tell me now.
I'm on a podcast.
You bleep things out all the time.
Bleep out that name I said. Esther, I'll tell you after. Don't fight. I'll tell you. It's just, it's not my business. I can't tell you other people's business. You heard me. I just asked him.
Do you not know who it is?
I do know who it is. And it's awesome. And she is awesome. And it's wild. And it's like, oh, that's enough to get greenlit.
Why don't you just tell me and then bleep it out or text me?
Because I give this podcast to other people too.
But maybe the podcast listeners will want to see what my reaction is to the name. So just come.
We'll have to stick around once the news is out.
Whisper it to me.
No. tell you after. I just feel like it's not mine to do. It makes me uncomfortable. It's somebody else's business. You just have to let that go. Now, my favorite high snack is probably a donut. What's yours?
John would be a funny if we ever.
John is hilarious.
To have a guest? It would be fun to have John on here with us.
That would be great, and then you could like chime in with stuff sometimes. Esther, what's your favorite snack?
Oh, my favorite snack? Well, I love French fries and I love Oreo shakes.
And vanilla?
Vanilla ice cream with Oreos, yeah.
My favorite shake is a strawberry with Oreos.
Fruit and
As a matter of
chocolate.
fact, shout out to Daily Harvest as I got their strawberry scoops, although I'm not partial to it. It is very good. But it's
I
dairy
thought it was
free.
pretty good.
For dairy free, it's easy to make it not good. So if it's good, that's all I'm looking for. Go ahead.
I just tried this vegan ice cream shop called Cremo. It's the best I've ever had.
Yeah.
I had their Oreo ice cream and their Oreo shake. It's really good.
My favorite is still the salt and straw vegan mint freckle.
I still haven't had that.
Amazing. Also, I don't want to speak poorly of them. I think it's just me. I sometimes get a little bit of a stomachache after it. But Van Leeuwen is unbelievably tasty.
Oh, I feel like I can't remember if I really loved that. Honestly, it's all about Cremo for me right now.
I'd like to try it. But the point is I take strawberry ice cream and I eat my ice cream in a mug now. There's something, a mug, it feels like it's more. It's like as a bowl, it's not filled to the top. A mug it is.
Are you on a diet?
No, I just don't need to eat ice cream by the pint every time I do it. So I just take a few gluten-free Oreos and I just crush them.
What brand Oreo?
I don't remember the name of them. So there you go. One more from Rick Boobers. I mean, nobody gives a real name. Esther is cool. Try eating food or playing Pictionary or charades or some prompt game. Have Esther dress for you. Have Esther teach you a dance. This person just wants segments. Kiss each other live on air. Fold a scarf. Do husband and wife conversations. Starter prompt. Which of those connected to you that you would want to do?
Husband and wife conversation starter prompt.
What does that mean?
I think it means like have a conversation like because didn't we talk about maybe having a couples counselor?
Yes, I wanted to have a counselor come in who actually believes we're a couple. Obviously, they know we're on a podcast. But like, hey, we're a couple. We're thinking about doing couples therapy in real life. So when we're starting this podcast, maybe it would be cool to have like you come on first, and then during the podcast we could work on some of the things you've taught us. You know.
When we shot my special, we shot a scene, not an acting scene, but for the documentary stuff where we had a dog therapist come to the house. We
to help you out with stuff?
Yeah. Well, all the dogs. It didn't end up being usable in the special, but it was definitely interesting to have a dog therapist.
Sure. We could have a dog therapist as a guest. Good idea. What kissing each other live makes me think of when Mr. Wonderful and Barbara have to kiss on Shark Tank.
Do they really ever kiss?
There's a couple of times. One that I'm remember. I know there's at least two. The one that I could. I know what both of them are. What do you guys think? You want to hear?
Why would they kiss?
One of the products being pitched was a mobile wedding where they marry you at like a food truck, but it's not a food truck, but it's a truck. And then you may now kiss the bride and they do a quick peck on the lips. Could you say peck? Is that? I feel like that sounds like it's a derogatory term. I know why. In Willow, they call Willow peck.
What's Willow?
Willow is with Warwick Davis and what's his name? Mad Mardigan, Val Kilmer.
So you're making names up?
It's a movie. It's fine.
I don't need to know.
It's a movie from the 80s.
I'm so excited that you like Shark Tank. I like that.
The other one was this lip balm that it's like fire and ice type of thing. Like they have like condoms like that, I think. Like your one person's dick burns and then their vagina gets cold, or the other way around. I don't know the appeal.
That sounds like every night at my house.
You guys have sex every night?
No, there's a dick burning and a cold vagina.
Oh.
I tried to make a joke.
I know. And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
If we were to kiss on air and there's no COVID, I wonder if I would get hard. How would I, if I had to, if, and Betty put that in here, so obviously she's okay with this. If I had to kiss you and get hard, what would you suggest? What would be the best way for you to help me get there? What would you do to make me the most comfortable and to make yourself the most presentable? Would you have brushed your teeth?
I used to date a guy that he would scrape my tongue before we kissed.
Other guys don't do that?
No.
Every time before a kiss, would he ever ask you to scrape your tongue?
No, he felt like he trusted himself better to do the job.
Jewish?
No.
Would you give me a scenario? Like, would you explain like a conversation?
Like I met his house, we watched a show, and then we're like going to go to bed and like probably kiss. And then so he would, after I brushed my teeth, I would go, and then he would scrape my tongue.
Was there ever any impromptu kissing, like before nighttime or out somewhere where you guys?
No, we never went out.
Right, he was embarrassed of you.
Yes, I later learned.
I still want to know how you could get me hard.
No,
but,
that is disgusting.
But I want to know what's going on when you drove by your exes. I have to see. Bless me. Why did you drive by your exes? Because you're in love now.
Yeah. But you don't lose the obsessions that you have. There's these tiny little obsessions that I have in my life that are completely separate from my romantic relationship with my partner. I mean, this is the thing. You ask me a fucking question and then you like look around.
Yeah, I know how that could be distracting, but we've done 8 podcasts. I explained to you, I have to make sure things aren't being turned off other than me. Continue.
I'm always just curious, is he there? What cars are out? Will I see his family? I know his family hated me. It's just a curiosity.
What's best case scenario when you drive by?
You know what it would be is seeing someone outside on the lawn. Someone
not necessarily him?
Him, his parents.
Let's say
him would be best, but anyone.
So I'm asking best case scenario.
Okay.
What is it like? Oh, it would be so cool. Like when you drive by those goosebumps that you get right before you turn that corner.
Yeah.
What is it that you would love to see?
I would love to see him interacting with anyone else. And then I would love to like be almost caught and like have to duck.
Because you want him to know that you're there.
No, I don't want him to know.
Then why almost caught?
Well, that's the excitement, is you get away with it.
And how do you want him to look? Good or bad?
Well, I know how he looks and it's not good.
Why do you know? Because I thought he blocked you on stuff.
He has, but I have a few friends with passwords.
That sounds like some online game that would go viral. Friends with passwords. So you know he doesn't look good.
Look, I don't want to trash someone's. You know what? That's crossing the line. Is me saying something about his appearance.
Okay.
Did he gain about 300 pounds?
So you're perfect for each other. Also, 300 pounds, really?
I've said too much. I just want to say I respect you. I'm not trying to stalk this person. I'm happily engaged. I wish you and your family the best.
Why is it him that you want to drive by? Because he lives so close? Why not isn't some of the other ones?
Well, you also have to keep in mind it's not about him, maybe. It's about the memories. It's about the childhood.
But why those memories? Was he your first boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. If I drove by my first girlfriend's house over Thanksgiving.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Why?
It's on the way to the grocery store. Mm. No, it's not. It's right by the grocery store. But
right, it's like you're right there.
Yeah, well, I was going by. I didn't go by to see it. However, as I was going down the street and I remembered that's where she lived, I did slow down and I looked.
Yeah.
And it was just like so long ago.
Memories. It's a memory thing. It's like if you were a ghost of yourself, you would want to go on a little tour of like your old haunts. What?
A little over an hour. You got to laugh.
That wasn't funny.
Yeah, it was. You know why it was funny? Because it made sense and you packaged it. Mm. You gave an analogy. You said something. The other version of that is like, I don't like it unless I'm outside, if it's dark, but there's like, I have a nightmare that the light doesn't work. It's like, what are you saying? If you did that analogy as a ghoul, it probably would have worked. You know what? You know what I think that is? I think that if you started seeing yourself as Slimer more and less as a comedian, then I think it might work.
Did you ever drink Ecto Cooler?
Maybe. Did they do a Squeeze-It hybrid? Because I feel like I had green Squeeze-Its that were with Slimer.
Oh, I don't remember that, but it was a High C juice box.
Then
with
yes,
Slimer.
yeah, High C did it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
If we could get sponsored by
Ecto
Daily Harvest,
Cooler?
High C,
I don't
Cremo,
Cremo, Cream Savers, discontinued candy.
and they probably don't have the budget for it.
I mean, Daily Harvest, like I said, sponsors going up. That's a real within reach.
Do they give you good money?
I don't know breakdowns of stuff.
Yeah, you don't. For somebody who starts all the businesses, you know none of your numbers.
Oh no.
To see,
I have an idea of my losses. I have a ballpark of how much I'm in debt.
not debt, but
Businesses that I have that are in debt.
they're in debt or they have debt.
What's the difference?
I guess I don't know. To me, in debt is I guess there is no difference. Something about being in debt feels like a mistake, but having debt feels like part of the operational cost. But I guess that's just perspective.
Well, I think I would say that I have debt, and it's because my business is in debt. Is that fair?
No.
Okay.
I think the furthest apart we are on the spectrum would be us on Shark Tank.
What do you mean?
I would thrive so much on Shark Tank that I thought about if I had a show on ABC, I would want to work with them about shooting my special as a Shark Tank pitch in front of the judges. I would destroy.
That would be amazing.
I just feel like I could really shine. I watch Shark Tank and I'm always punching up and doing bits and how they, not just funny and like slapstick silly. Like I've seen every episode. I have an entrepreneur at heart. When I was a kid, I was doing door-to-door sales just like Mr. Cuban. Love it. And
Then why do you always make fun of me for starting businesses?
well, first of all, I like making fun of you. It's part of our dynamic.
Oh.
Second, the reason it's inspired is because you aren't focusing. A business is like a baby. You know, you have to focus on.
You have a team. I have a team.
Who's your team?
My team. It's my team.
I look at Take Your Shoes Off as my business.
Yeah.
And that's what I focus on. And I don't have 4 podcasts, a cybersecurity business, 3 lipstick lines, and some other bullshit with T-shirts, sweatshirts, and I don't know, whatever else you're making.
My clothing line is so high end. That's my biggest mistake is how nice it is.
Listen, making mistakes are great. Will Smith
Yeah.
says fall forward. Learn from them.
Love
but
it.
if you're going to learn from your mistakes and if you're going to capitalize them, make them efficient. Have mistakes within something that every time you make one, you learn something. But everything you learn about your sweatshirt's not going to necessarily translate into your 4 podcasts.
My clothing line is more of a hobby business. It's something that is really fun for me, and if it turns into more, great. But I already have a plan for how if my show comes back or whatever it is, it's like I have a partner lined up that will.
But you're making my point. As Mark Cuban would say, that's exactly what we're talking about. It's a hobby.
It is.
And you have products, not a business. And it's just not scalable. And as an investor, I don't see how I would have my money back. So unfortunately, I'm out, but I do believe there's something special about it. And what you have, really, you're not selling sweatshirts. You're selling yourself as a brand, right?
Right.
And that's hard to monetize because you don't have any proof of concept.
I do have proof of concept. I have numbers of sales.
How many shirts have you sold?
I've sold, let's see, in the last run alone, I sold 300 shirts and I sold 100 masks. And that's because that's all I had available.
Esther, you're a cockroach in this business. Do you understand? That's nothing. That's nothing in this business.
Repeat customers. I'm just getting started. And I'm not even looking for money from you.
That's great. You're just getting started. When you're just getting started, you need to eat, sleep, and breathe this business.
I do.
You do not have a team to do things that you could be doing yourself.
That's exactly how I'm doing it, Rick.
Then why are you telling me you have 9 businesses with teams?
I have one business.
You have your shirt business.
It's my clothing line.
You have your clothing line. You have your beauty line.
I don't have, my beauty line is on hold.
Right. You have your coffee line.
That's in very early stages, and that's something I'm a co-founder with 3 other people.
You have Glowing Up.
That's a podcast that takes an hour a week of recording and a little bit of prep and research.
And it shows. You have the other podcast you might be starting.
Yes, that's also going to be about an hour a week of a commitment.
Right. So you're not putting any work into it otherwise. Gotcha. So you're not working. Then you have your solo podcast.
That's probably the biggest failure of my life.
Yeah. And then you have this, which we're not going to really do consistently because you're spreading yourself too thin.
That's okay.
I'm not talking to you as somebody who needs you to be a weekly partner for me. I'm talking to you as a friend who's saying you need to focus on fewer things. You're like the Cheesecake Factory. You have a huge menu and you're just disgusting. You want to be In-N-Out Burger. It's still fast food, but they have a few things and it's efficient.
I think I am In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger doesn't have onion rings.
You know my brand. You know what you're getting. There's something for everyone. You know.
I think you're going to make it, and I think it's great. I'm just saying it's not investable at the moment, and for that reason, I'm out.
I agree. I don't think it's investable, and that's why I'm actually not here today looking for money.
Hey, hashtag improv partner. We're on Shark Tank.
Okay.
Why'd you come to pitch me your business if you don't want money? You gold digger?
Because you didn't even let me pitch. You just were out and I didn't know what to do.
All right, let me hear you pitch.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Whatever.
Hello, my name is Esther Povitsky, and I am the founder and CEO of Sleepover by Esther. We make 24-hour basement wear.
That's great. I just want to let you know that it is important that right away you get out how much you're seeking and for what dollar investment.
Today, we are seeking
Are you okay? Are you nervous?
I don't know what I would want. Today we are seeking...
Oh, wow. That's kind of a red flag.
Today we are seeking $300,000 for a 10% stake in our company.
Okay, so you evaluate this business at $3 million. And I now know that you just came up with that number out of nowhere.
Well, you can pretend you don't know that and just have
I
that
just
be
heard
behind
you say it to...
And that can be behind the scenes of the improv game because I had to think of it because I didn't know I was doing Shark Tank.
Oh, so we were doing the pitch, and then you said time out.
Yes.
Let me think about this thing.
Yes. $300,000 for a 10...
Oh, this is fun.
It feels like this was not extremely painful like it usually has been.
Yeah. Glasses. Fat. Jewish. Sad.